Okay, so today is April 29th, and the topic of today's reading from the book Affirmations for the Inner Child by Rocker Lerner is balance. I am the advocate for my inner child. Today I am my inner child's advocate. I patiently await the expression of that child's feelings and needs. The more intently I listen, the more eloquently the child within me speaks. The more I give voice to my child self, the better I take care of myself. I felt lost as a child in my dysfunctional family. I felt adult pressures that mutilated my inner child. There was no room for my needs or perspective. There was no room to be a child. Today, there is room in my life for both the child self and the adult self. I add spontaneity and structure to my life by negotiating the needs of my child self and the responsibilities of my adult self. My world is rich and full, and all my feelings belong. So, well, yes, that is the reading of today, which is inviting us to, well, find balance within ourselves between what it is to be a child and what it is to be an adult. However, I would have to say that we have to be careful with what people tend to say as a child needs. What is that expression? What does that expression entails? What does a child really need, right? And in the other hand, what does an adult need? Well, there you might argue that we need very little, right? Uh, and that if you only analyze your needs in the eye of a child typically will argue or would say that they need everything, right? So what I don't like about the reading is perhaps the fact that uh, what we want is typically confused with what we need, and what we need is very little, and our real needs are just few and perhaps not very frequent, right? Perhaps the only need that we might need is physical contact or contact with others or relationship with other people. And even in that aspect, well, you could say, you could argue, well, to what extent, right? So a child doesn't know, right? An adult doesn't know either. An adult, well, typically only analyzing the fact that an adult is only someone that is old age or has past the age of 30 or whatever, uh, and they don't know what they need either, right? Most adults, they don't know what they need either because they've never been, or in very seldom cases, they've been in a real um, environment of scarcity, right? So they have never really been in that situation. And well, the only need that people have is information, is knowledge, right? And perhaps that's the only need that we need, that we actually require in our lives, right? And we are always striving to seek, right? So perhaps I don't like the reading that much because of that, because of the fact that they are pushing us to go back into that time where we have little knowledge. And again, the only need that a child has is knowledge, right? So that's the only thing that you need to seek, right? And you need to pursue. And not only knowledge, but wisdom, and not only knowledge and wisdom, but the ability to differentiate between both of them, right? And the ability to act upon that knowledge, right? So, yeah, be careful with that, right? If you like the reading, give it a thumbs up, leave any comments below, subscribe to the channel, share it through social media, and as always, if Providence allows it, we will meet each other in a different day.